Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live session with Shay, and it is pronounced Shay, right?
Shay, yeah, Shay.
Shay, Shay. Okay, so he has been doing sadhana since almost 15 months, right?
Yeah, it's been I'm on Akshay Bhairav, so it's 12 deities, but I've sometimes it takes me a little longer, and I want to do the full 30 days, so about 15
Mm.
months. Yeah,
Yeah. So he's in the Akshay Babero, that is the Vishuddha Chakra month, and he has crossed. That is Uchishta Ganapati Tripura Bhairavi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 deities, and he's doing the sadhana of Akshaya Bhairav. So, how has it been throughout the deities? That is from Ganapati till till Akshaya Bhairav. So, how was the journey? And also, can you tell us more about your background, like how you got into this path of spirituality? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. First I'll start with the Guru mantra. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, yeah, it's been quite the journey thus far. Yeah, it started even before doing the sadhana, before emailing you to initiate it. Um, so, my background is I grew up in the United States in Pennsylvania, in the Philadelphia suburbs. Uh,
Mm,
so, and my parents are from India. They're both born in Gujarat.
mm,
So I'm you can say ABCD, American born, confused Desi. That's the term
mm,
that we. So yeah, just growing up, and you said this before in your videos too about the education system under being British rule. So obviously in America we have a similar system in terms of how they educate you to be a good worker, a good obedient worker. So that's what I did. I followed the rules. I went to school, got good grades, went to college, university, um, studied economics and finance. So, just looking back, it seemed like I was just, working toward going through the cycles of pleasure and pain.
mm,
You have a goal, you work for it, you receive it, you're happy for a bit, but then
mm,
your desire that comes up. So you're constantly chasing these desires. Um, and you're kind of told what paths to take, especially for Indian culture in America, doctor, engineer, lawyer, business, something along those lines. We're not really taught to explore you know, our deep, what we're
mm,
really about, what we're really interested in. It's always a side thing. It's never the primary focus. So,
mm,
went to. I've always been interested in
mm,
seeking knowledge and learning about this world, learning about the universe, how things work. Why is the world the way it is?
mm,
Do we have the rich? Why is there poor? All these questions that I had, and a lot of that studying I did on my own. But the thirst for knowledge is like never ending for me. So even after I went to college, I wasn't really satisfied with the education, and I
mm,
had to you had to get a job, you had to work, and I had student loans to pay. So when I first started working in a corporate office, like I literally felt like my soul escaped my body. Like I was so miserable. I couldn't imagine doing this for the rest of my life. And I just looked around me. Everybody seemed very soulless and not very happy.
mm,
It seemed they were just trying to get by, kind of thing. Um, so like in my mind, I knew there had to be another path. I felt like it was I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it looked like. So I had a lot of anxiety about this,
mm,
you know, having to go to work and just trying to get through essentially. So, I went through this cycle. I graduated college 2012. I'm like 35 now, 36.
mm,
Um, so yeah, I had many jobs working for different companies, and they
mm,
all felt none of them really excited me. Um, but like I always was interested in fitness and like going to the gym, working out, that kind of thing. That kind of
mm,
reinvigorated my body and my mind and my soul.
mm,
Um, And so that was another, that was a part of me that I really enjoyed, or something that I was interested in. But
mm,
at the same time, coming from like an Indian family, like I also like to eat. The
mm,
uchishta that was strong in me. So um, I just love to eat everything
mm,
and foods. Um, so it's like a constant cycle of working out, eating too much, working out, that kind
mm,
of, that I'm trapped in almost. So it was like if I wanted to pursue fitness and try and make it a career or something, or do something with it, I'd have to like, there's, I had to make some sacrifices in terms of,
mm,
maybe eating less, that kind of thing. Um, but I guess to speed up a little bit, I got married in 2020 in COVID to my wife. I love her. She's amazing. She's a wonderful partner, and very grateful that Krishna brought us together. So I didn't have to work. I didn't have to work a corporate job. My wife preferred it that way because she has a demanding job. She's a physician, so, I mostly just took care of the house, did stuff, cooked and cleaned and that kind of thing, while being able to pursue what I wanted to do. So I was like, watching a lot of YouTube videos and whatever I was interested in, and slowly but surely, you're, um, I my mind was kind of like, I was starting questioning the reality and getting, how do I deal with this anxiety? How do I discipline my mind to, you know,
mm,
be more intentional with how I spend my time and to work towards what I want to do.
mm,
Um, so I eventually, um, you know, your video came into my feed, and I was going through a journey of just like learning more about my Hindu faith. Like, so another
mm,
thing, growing, I didn't really believe in God. My mom is very religious. She does all the rituals, and she's a devotee of Krishna.
mm,
Her energy has definitely, like, he's always been there in my life. I just wasn't aware of it.
mm,
Um, so that was like a very interesting thing that has happened. Me becoming aware of that. So yeah, I guess from my experience, like my thirst for knowledge, I was like, okay, I really want to learn more about our Hindu faith system and what does it mean, like what is God and everything. So your video came across my YouTube algorithm, and I started watching it, and like instantly I was hooked. I
mm,
started watching. I pretty much watched every single video back when they
mm,
came out right away, and everything you were saying just made complete sense as far as how you're explaining it. And I know how you say in your video sometimes like few people will understand what I'm saying it, but like I felt like I was
mm,
one of the people who really understood it. So
mm,
um, that was really interesting. And like I had, prior to this, I had received like, you know I had like thoughts or intuitions guiding me towards like, you have to meditate at some point. You're gonna have to meditate to get rid of this anxiety, this fear that you have. And I didn't know how to go about it. So, and in your videos, that's what you talk about. Like you give all the knowledge, and then you say only you can discover the truth for yourself. And it's, through meditation. And the bija mantras and the deities will guide you when you repeat them, in the morning. So I said, I had faith in that process, shraddha, as it's called. So yeah, I said, let me try it. Let me start chanting the mantras in the morning and see what happens, just out of curiosity, not really expecting anything, and kind of just, be curious about the whole path. So um, yeah, that's like the pre sadhana, I'll
mm,
describe. Um, so then, so uh before sadhana, like I was, right before, I was very stressed out, just
mm,
kind of worried, anxious in general. And I was gaining weight. I was like,
mm,
let's say maybe like 95 kilos. It's like 210
mm,
pounds. So yeah, I like started with Uchista Ganapati, and it felt like I felt like I needed the guidance of the male deities rather than, like, obviously the Shakti Tattva is there, the desire forces are there. So Uchista Ganapati, like his wisdom taught me to, be okay with enjoying food, be also okay with not enjoying food, be okay with, fasting. It should all be the same at the end of the day.
mm,
Like non-veg and veg, it's ultimately the same. Obviously, as you progress on a spiritual path, there are reasons for pursuing a more vegetarian diet, but initially it's not the most important thing. So all these things he was teaching me, and like I was kind of slowly internalizing. So that was very eye opening. Also, just chanting his mantras like helped me become more aware of what I eat, when I eat, how I eat. I'm reciting the mantra before I eat. Sometimes I forget, but I'll still I'll do it when I'm chewing the food, taking the first bite. So it's not going to be perfect right away. So you kind
mm,
of have to make it a habit slowly and like have faith that the effects will take place. So
mm,
these very very insightful things that I've learned from him. And it's like
mm,
when that happened, I lost some weight, during
mm,
that phase, first 30 days. But then when Tripura Bhairavi came, she is the desire force of food. So, it's kind of that I gained a little bit of weight back because I just, for whatever reason, started to cook a little bit more, become more creative in the kitchen, that kind of thing. So,
mm,
if when you solve one problem, the Kundalini is like kind of like going up and down almost. And as you work on fix one problem, like you have to kind of keep practicing to really hone solidify the effects of the mantras. So that's kind of where that's been. Also, another thing with the sleep, I had trouble like just waking up in the morning, just oversleeping. I wanted
mm,
to wake up earlier just because
mm,
you're more energized and fresh during the day in the morning. Um, so my sleep schedule improved. I was able to just wake up earlier because I knew like, okay, first thing I got to do is meditate. Even if it's not at 4 a.m., as early as I can do it, I have to meditate because if I do
mm,
that, the rest of my day is going to go a lot better. So throughout the sadhana, there are times when I did meditate at 4 a.m., sometimes it's later, but I always try to make sure that I definitely made it consistent. And when I did do that, my day would go better, my mood would be
mm,
better. I'm able to be more focused and give my
mm,
energy where it needs to go.
mm.
If you have any questions, you can feel free to stop me, but I can keep going.
Yeah. So, out of all the deities, which deity you found the most interesting?
Um, I think definitely Krishna. Yeah, he is my devata. We had the Shodasvarga reading, and that kind of confirmed it. I thought it would be Makali, but they are so close to each other
Mm,
that it would make I was maybe a little confused, but definitely Krishna, and Uchista Ganapati as well.
mm,
So Krishna, like, yeah, to jump around, like when you gave me that mantra, like that was just it was a very very intense, very
mm,
long. Um,
mm,
took me like an hour and 90 minutes sometimes to finish it.
mm,
Sometimes I had to break it up, but yeah, at that time I just remember it was like summertime, and with all that energy, I would just receive this rush of energy and like happiness and bliss and just like
mm,
contentment with, just okay with just how everything happening in the
mm,
world. Like
mm,
understand like the universe is just perfect as it is. It doesn't need to be changed really. And like everything, there's a higher plan that I don't know about, and you just have to trust it. So when I'd be walking, I'd go for walks, a lot of walks outside, and listening to that mantra, and like
mm,
I don't know, like it felt like
mm,
I would just see him in the sky, like the blue sky, and I would see his outline, kind of watching and just smiling, and it just
mm,
felt so cool, like it's kind of telling me like he's always been there with me, guiding me, and
mm,
now I'm like going towards him. So that was very powerful, great feeling. So um, yeah, so that was my experience with him.
mm. What about with Bhairavas when compared to Krishna?
Yeah, Bhairava. So yeah, Batuk Bhairava, I feel like he's a child form of Shiva, very powerful, very like he's kind of behind the scenes. He's kind of like not right there, but he's working behind the scenes.
mm,
Um, Especially for me, like for lust of food, lust of for anything, chasing any kind of pleasure. That's something that I struggle with. So he's kind of helping me become more aware of that, just being more mindful, just helping me, just like you know, teaching me to just watch myself do the thing that engaging in that action, whether it's like overeating or something. But just kind of like, and that awareness has helps me kind of re guide my actions
mm,
better, kind of. So like, I really like that mantra too, the Batuk Bhairav mantra. So he gives that fearlessness that
mm,
it helps with the overthinking, because like
mm,
overthinking is what prevents action, and action is what will kill your anxiety. So
mm,
he really helped in that sense. And but there's Batuk Bhairav, but then Hanuman, Krishna, and now I'm on Akshara Bhairav again. So I'm connecting with like a different form of him, and here
mm,
I am. Before I was like, oh, I want to do a live, and I'm like, I'm kind of nervous about it. So, but then I said, you know what, let's just do it. I think it's a great time. Vishuddha
mm,
Chakra has beta, so let's just do it. Like, what's
mm.
there's no lose kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's been my experience with him.
Okay. So, how does US contribute for your spiritual journey?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think about like a lot about what you said and your journey as well. Like how when you came to America, you can kind of feel it doesn't have the same spiritual energy as India does. I've only been to India a couple times, but when I go there, it feels like my home almost. Even though I
Mm,
wasn't raised. So it kind of feels like Krishna's telling me like he's guiding me to bring this to where I live here. Rather than like it's the spiritual aspect is not really found here. There's only like so many churches and that kind of thing. So
mm,
um yeah, it makes it difficult to find that similar other people who are also going in the same path, especially where I live in the suburbs. Um but like it's also that isolation almost is what allows me to like progress faster, I feel, because I'm
mm,
more go inwards, rather
mm,
than to be by outside forces. But it also had guided me to pursue yoga, like physical yoga. So I joined the yoga studio that is nearby, and they practice more traditionally, which I found to be very helpful. And I've been really enjoying that. So that's been helpful in my goal of like pursuing fitness. That was something that I neglected
mm,
when I was in fitness. I did mostly like weightlifting. And if you do too much weightlifting, you need to do that flexibility, yoga, stretching, that kind of thing. So I've been doing a lot of that. And that's been like, a game changer for, the spiritual practice. So like I can do the meditation and as well as practicing yoga. So um, I guess I've been, this is the, and there's like many yoga studios here, but some of them are more, they strip away all of the spirituality, the traditional aspect, which, then it just becomes another exercise. And that's not what I was really looking for. So, yeah, I think that's my experience with doing it in America.
Yeah, what I feel is the US forces us to go inwards. Like,
Yeah.
whereas India, it's always like going to temples, like bowing down to deities, and that makes our consciousness think that deities are outside. But
Yeah.
in US, it feels like deities are inside, and we miss them. Like we feel the lack of the love of the deities, whereas in India we take it for granted.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting, and that definitely makes a lot of sense. Like I didn't grow up there, but I feel like yeah, you would just take it for granted. You could just go to a temple nearby and seek the
Mm,
blessings. Where here, it's like it feels like the mountains almost, Kailash. Like the weather is much colder where I live, so everybody's inside. Nobody really goes outside, at least now during winter time. Another
mm,
thing I kind of realized is, America, a wealthy country, and when you don't have money, you're more likely to pray, asking for blessings from God, from a deity to help you out in that journey. And then now, like once you have in America, like once you've received the wealth, you forget about that, you know. So I see that a lot, especially in American culture. um in like from Indian culture, it seems to be in America at least, like we still worship God. We still do all every Indian home here has like the puja. They still do that. So the connection to God is still very strong, and I feel that's a great reason why like Indians have been able to do so well in America, because
mm,
that ability to trust each other and start businesses, whether it's motels or hotels or gas stations, whatever it may be. So that's another thing that I've observed here.
mm, true. The businesses, like especially restaurants, I guess it grows. The Yeah, sorry.
No, no, you can go ahead.
Yeah, like the restaurants grow because Indian food is very tasty when compared to whatever US people eat. Like when compared to White Castle or a Popeye or a good Indian restaurant will satisfy the all the taste buds. But the processed food like KFC. Or White Castle, such it doesn't touch all the parts of the tongue, only few parts, and it makes us too full. Like it will not be actually will not eat anything. Just a small bite of that can make us full. But Indian food goes inside, inside, inside. Yeah.
I I 100% agree. That was a big struggle for me too. Just always craving that Indian food, and then my mom, all the women in like or my family and everything are great great cooks. The Gujarati food, like I love
Mm,
Gujarati. Like
mm,
it's my favorite cuisine, and but
mm,
every now and when I'm craving Indian food, if my parents aren't here, then just going to an Indian restaurant, like it satisfies so well. So yeah,
yeah.
I definitely I'm fortunate that there are some here. They're everywhere
Mm,
scattered. But
mm,
I can only imagine what it's like in
mhm.
India having that much good food everywhere.
Yeah, and I feel like US people also enjoy Indian food because they feel it as unique. But some people, even though they get loose motion, they eat it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
They ready for it. I mean, it's so delicious. Like you just can't not.
yeah,
Yeah. The veg, the non-veg, everything, all the breads, the naans, the puris, the rotis. It's
yeah,
all good. Yeah.
yeah. Um, then, what do you think about your samadhi? Like, is it near or is it far from now?
It feels near. I definitely it feels near. So another thing I want to mention is, and you've also talked about this in your videos as well. Just so I also, you know, like samadhi. We're exploring different states of consciousness, by doing meditation. So I've also been interested in like psychedelics, and I've done that prior to doing the sadhana. And when you said the whole, the right part of your brain is the part that receives information, and the left part is the one that processes the information. And like when you take psychedelics or magic mushrooms, like I did, you're receiving all this energy, all this information coming in, and if your left brain
Mm,
can't process it, then that's where people kind of go crazy and lose their minds, so to speak.
mm,
um like that didn't happen to me. I was able to it felt like I had done enough meditation in this life or a previous life to be able to at least take in that experience and understand, like, that this reality isn't real. Like we're living in this Maya. Is very illusory, but that doesn't mean that you can just ignore it or neglect it or treat people badly. Like it means there's a deeper meaning behind it. So um yes, like that the psychedelic experiences has definitely led me to this path, because it made me question reality more. But
mm,
that experience has led me to here to be like, okay, you're just going to meditate, and then kind of see where that leads to get to that state, like organically, without the use of substances. So it
mm,
feels near. I'm not like, you know um not worried about it. I'm not like, oh, if I don't receive it, oh, this wasn't working. I'm just letting everything happen day by day and trusting the meditation, just making sure I stay disciplined with that, and um,
mm,
performing my karma as Krishna wants me to do it. So yeah, I think the path is going well. It's still another 6 deities to go, and it's looking forward to it. So
mm. Yeah, and also some people report that psychedelics make them meet some entities like Kali, Ganapati. They meet in some realm and they come back. So there are some reports of psychedelic users who have connected with the deities.
yeah, no, I did. I've done it. It's been like prior to Sadhana almost, and it like when I was doing it, I felt a strong connection to Shiva, like
Mm,
just because it's like complete detachment. Like he's like the highest state. So what helped me through that process was listening to some of his mantras and his songs, like just helping me detach a lot because I was
mm,
getting felt like I was getting too involved in Maya, too involved in other people's drama almost, and I had to detach. So I felt a strong connection to him. Um,
mm,
that was very interesting.
mm. Yeah. Yeah, Shiva. So, what do you feel about the difference between Shiva and Krishna?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like Krishna is like more of a personal guide. Like he's very close to me. He's close to my heart. He helps me. Like the secret to life is to love. To
Mm,
learn how. I think that's for most people. Most people struggle with that. Like learning to love themselves, learning to love others, loving unconditionally, and Krishna helps with all that while also helping you detach from that love. So that I don't know, it feels like there's a reason why you have Krishna here and then four Mahavidyas on the other side, because love is so complex and deep that you need all these elements to kind of balance everything. And then Krishna, he can balance everything for you. So from a day to day standpoint, he helps with that. Um, Shiva, I feel like he's there when if I'm really in trouble, if I'm really stuck in a situation, he will help me. Like he's almost like when I call for him, he'll come immediately in a form of Bhairava or himself and help resolve whatever it is I'm going through. But to connect to him, if I were to try to connect to him directly, like I feel like I would just be meditating all day almost and not focusing on my day to day tasks that I need to do. So he has a place there, and I think
mm.
the sadhana is helping me reach that state. But that's kind of how I felt about the difference between Shiva and Krishna.
Yeah, very good observations. Like the way Shiva is, because Shiva sometimes he helps and doesn't even we don't even know that he has helped. Like in a very background manner he helps, whereas Krishna's help feel very prominent. Like if Krishna helps, we'll know that he has helped. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting with Shiva too, because like I feel like he comes down as Bhairava to help, and Batuk
Mm,
Bhairava, especially, like just he's just there in the background, just watching you, and then that him watching you helps you be the watcher, be the witness
mm,
conscious. Like at the end, Sadashiva, he's just the witness. He doesn't get involved in the Maya. He's just witnessing it
mm,
blissfully in a state. And sometimes you need that, depending on what you're dealing with in life. Sometimes you get too deep into the Maya, whatever it is.
mm,
Whereas he is Mahamaya. He is the one who's created this. So
mm,
uh, he'll help you guide you through the Maya.
mm,
So both deities are like are needed, and it
mm,
made me grateful and blissful to have been born in this tradition. Just having like the philosophy is so deep and so profound and so like I don't know, it's unlike other faith systems, and like having all these deities here to guide, they're here to guide us, and like if you call out for them and chant their mantras, they will come and help you. And I don't know, it's just this is awesome. That's how I feel.
yeah. But sadly, they vibrate at a different frequency.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. There, it's still it's like when you're chanting the mantras, you're getting in tune with that frequency, but outside of that, then you're back on earth. So you have to kind of carry that energy with you throughout your life and
mm,
kind of spread their teachings in a way, like just by loving. That's like the biggest lesson that I've learned, just to keep practicing love and all the
mm,
different love. I think that alone will get you very far. That's like the big teaching of Jesus Christ. And just to remind yourself that like the divine spark is within you, like all you are the deities, but you have to put in some effort and work to vibrate at those frequencies. So in 1,000 lifetimes I'll be able to vibrate like more in that line, but um in this lifetime, this is the path for me.
mm. True. And what would you like to say to the audience? Like some any important messages?
um I guess if you are doing the sadhana, to continue to have faith in it. Don't overthink it too much. Just uh, let the meditation guide you and guide you like throughout your day in terms of what you need to do. Everything is going to be okay at the end of the day. Um, and if you're not doing any sadhana, if you're just, I would say, um, try to self inquire about this reality, to question, go deeper within yourself, ask yourself, why are you here? And, who am I?
Mm,
Uh, Hopefully, you find your own path, whatever that may be. Um, so, yeah, I guess that's what I would say. And to
mm,
remember that divine spark is within you. Only you can know the truth for yourself. So don't uh, don't blindly trust anybody.
mm. True. And do you want to drop any of your social handles? Whichever.
uh, yeah, you can. I have a link tree that I think I sent to you.
Mm,
But can I'm mostly on Twitter, so like for I guess not for work. I've been like I studied economics and finance, and I was working in different
mm,
corporations. So, but I've been more interested in investing in cryptocurrency and trying to understand that phenomena. Like, why is it that these things have value? And I've been involved in a project called SPX 6900 and been contributing to that community on Twitter. Um, so my handle is Shreem Ream 6900. And
sure.
I go by.
Mm.
So if you want to follow me there, you can do that.
Okay, you can comment in the comment section of this YouTube live, which may be available after the live. So you can put or in the live comments also. Yeah.
I'm trying to see how to do that.
Maybe you can do it after the live. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No
Mm,
worries.
mm,
Yeah, I can do it to the video. I can comment on the video once it's posted. So yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So, thank you very much, Shay, for joining this YouTube live. And do you have anything to say to the audience before we end the live?
Uh, Jay Mahakal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all for joining. And today also was the meetup day, and that's why I'm in Bengaluru. And it was a very good meetup. Meetup video will be released next Sunday. Stay tuned to Project Kali. Thanks for tuning in. Jai Mahakal.
Jay Mahakal.